Yaute da Neamo. Hey, we are about to super cook. I'm so fired up. I don't even know where to start. Young Yudi in the building. Peace to my queen. Goddess Rod. Peace to everybody. It's gonna get heavy, man. That's all I could tell you. It's gonna get heavy. I wonder, quite naturally, I'm gonna deal with we here for the supernatural, for the unnatural, the supernatural. Is it natural? I don't know. These natural disasters about as natural as some of this weed I've been seeing, about as natural as some of these wigs, about as natural as some of these personalities on you male figures. So now I'm gonna start somewhere else, and then y'all know how we do. We build to where we going. So I left my water, man. I be cutting up. Damn. So the thing is, peace to the Queen Buffy Black, Yahoo to the God brother, man. Daniel Wright. Yeah. So now this my thing. I gotta put this disclaimer out here quick because see, a lot of people see me shifting gears and they don't view it as elevation. They looking at it like it's like either I'm supposed to still be there so they can argue with me about it, or like I'm contradictory. What is this? This is Misinformation Nation podcast. We deal with what seems to be common information, and we prove that most of it is bullshit. So basically, we woke up in a world of lies and now we're decoding it. As opposed to living the lie, we choose to sit here every week and break it down the right way. We don't shoot from the hip. We come with real live information. Tonight we're going to deal with these floods and these natural disasters. So that's why I called it Apocalypto Scripto. and we're gonna and I got a lot of information for you all where we're gonna connect the dots, and I'm gonna show you exactly what this thing is we're dealing with. And so we're gonna start with like the biggest issue is, and the reason why we do this, I'm glad that brother asked that, is for the common thought. You need all structures have to have a base. So we're trying to fix our situation as a people and make the adjustments, but we don't have a foundational base. And that's why I made that post today that we are literally the only people on the planet that sit around and yell and scream and debate each other on who we are. Like you're not finding that anywhere else except for us, the melanated man and woman who say we're the original beings, yet and still that's not good enough for us. We all will agree that we're the original beings, but now we got to agree on exactly where we was at when we were like what land mass and what was our belief system. So I like to take it back to the core of, like, we're arguing over whether we're from versus we're God's chosen people. If there is such a thing, I'll agree with that. I don't like the terminology, but if there is such a thing, I'll agree with that. But then that's not good enough. We can't be God's chosen people. We have to be God's chosen people, and then we have to say, well, we're God's chosen people, but this group of people over here is better than that group, and that group of God's chosen people is better than that group. So then I say, like, there's no anytime you have a system of beliefs, it's just a system of beliefs. Now, if you want to take your beliefs and bring it to the masses and put it in a space that's factual, your beliefs have to be able to line up, or what you're bringing forth. It has to line up on all aspects. It has to line up with science. It has to line up with geography. It has to line up with history, and it has to line up with the cosmos, what they call astronomy, astrology. You have to have these things all connecting in order to say this is what it is. So instead of us worrying about sectionality, which one of us slaves is better than the other, how about we agree that we're slaves and we got a common situation to deal with? And now, if we're going to go with the God's chosen people thing, if we're going to say that we're a special people, the only way, let's just be clear, the only way that you can solidify being something specially connected to God as a people, you have to do it through science. It has to go through science and astrology, because the maps are full of shit. So we're trying to draw to maps that we know for a fact are not the real maps, and they've been altered hundreds of times for the purpose of colonialization. So the colonizers have been tampering with these maps for hundreds of years. So that can't be the thing. So if we're gonna say we're this special people that are specially connected to God, I got no smoke with that. But we got to do it through science. Now, and this is gonna segue to what we're talking about tonight. So now, if we're going the science route and we're gonna say we're God's chosen people, okay, I can rock with that. So then this gets biblical, because from the biblical aspect, for all you Christians or the Hebrew Israelites brothers, or you may not claim a faith, but you just connect to the Bible. And that's kind of what we're doing tonight, because I keep hearing people say these natural disasters are connected to the Bible. So we're going to deal with that. So now if we're going to play that game, so then according to the Bible, when I ask you all, is this the real thing? Y'all say it's the true thing. Okay. Well, according to the Bible, that Bible says 666 is going to be the Antichrist and the mark of the beast. Okay. Well, you're 666. And if you're going to be a special people connected to God, the only thing that directly connects you to God is 666. So we have to have information that connects with how we feel about things. Okay, so now when I say anything about us being special, I'm talking about 666. And then we keep using the word melanin. That's just the smallest part of what's going on. They want you to equate this with your skin color. But no, that's a small piece of it. What we're really dealing with is carbon-12, not carbon. That's another common mistake we make. When I say 666, a lot of people say, well, that's carbon. No, it's not carbon. It's carbon-12. There's a difference. Now, here's the difference. Carbon is you need carbon to exist on this planet. Point blank, period. In order to be a living, existing component on this planet, you need carbon. Okay, now, carbon-12 is 99%, 98 or 99% of what carbon is. Now, carbon-12 is you. Now, let's get scientific. See, when I'm talking about something, I get scientific. Our ancestors, and now here's another thing. And peace to you, God. When I'm connecting our people to something, I don't think of it from a landmass perspective. Even if I'm saying Africa, what I'm talking about is a framework, the ideology surrounding a people. It was an ideology that brings everything together. So when you look at all of these recorded religions, all spiritual belief systems, all of them got one thing in common: the deification of the sun. So what we can agree on is since antiquity, whatever tribe of people or ancestors you had, they were venerating the sun. Now, some people say that's sun worship, but it's not. It's science. Your ancestors were scientists. So this is what we got to understand. So now, when the purpose for the sun is because the sun is the life force on the planet. Everything, the water, the clouds, the vegetation, everything starts with the sun. Remove the sun, you can't keep the planet. So this is important. So your ancestors being scientists, they figured this out. You can put them on whatever fucking landmass you want to. I don't care. It's the same people. Put them where you want to put them to make you comfortable. It's the same damn people. So now, the purpose of the veneration of the sun is to explain that the sun is the life force. So this is very important because this is part of your 666. This is what makes you a special people. The 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons. Okay, what does that mean? See, people just be talking, but let's teach. What does that really mean? Okay, the electron is a miniature sun inside of your damn cellular makeup. Now, the neutron is the life. Now, the 2 6s are connecting, and this whole thing that I'm about to explain is something called the triple alpha process. This is the fucking process. Only 2 things in existence are created like this: you and a star. Melanin is created inside of stars. You are literally walking fucking stardust. So if you want to connect to God and be special, do it that way. Do it through science. Because they stole every bit of land on this planet. So ain't no sense us arguing about it. Let's deal with what makes us, fuck what makes us different. Let's deal with what makes us the same. Because as soon as we find out what makes us the same, it'll be time to get busy. We can't get busy because we keep arguing about who the fuck we are. So let's deal with it. You are literally walking fucking stardust. Now, the electron is a miniature sun that circulates the neutrons and protons. It rotates them just like the sun rotates. It rotates exactly the same direction as the sun in your body, hitting you with electricity volts. That's why you're called the people of the sun. That's why you're the only species on this planet that can take the sun. This is what really makes you special. God didn't have to choose. That's a waste of time. I made what I made. I don't have to choose shit. Why do I have to choose when I put down what I wanted? So when you look at what you're really dealing with, the planet is more relevant than one certain piece of it. You being the star children that this planet was terraformed for, it has been stolen from you. Not just one body of land, the entire fucking planet has been stolen from you. So it doesn't make a fucking difference where you choose to say you came from. The planet is yours, and they took it. Let's deal with that. That, in my opinion, is what they call bigger fish to fry. So now we need to understand how they took it. And a lot of it is through confusion of what we're about to deal with tonight. It makes a difference if you want to play shits and giggles and waste time. But it doesn't make a difference if you got the ultimate goal in mind, which is it's your fucking planet. It's your fucking planet. And here's what I'm about to prove tonight. Here's what I'm about to prove tonight. It's the same fucking people doing the same shit in every empire you're talking about. So whether they got your ass from America first or Africa first, it's the same people whooping your ass on both bases. So what the fuck we gonna argue about where they beat our ass at first? We still got our ass whooped. I know I'm not saying nothing because you like to waste time and I don't. Let's talk about some real shit. Keep it moving. Now, the real thing is the planet. The fucking planet was stolen from you. Not one goddamn landmass. The entire planet. This is what they call theology. Astrology, astronomy. You have to be well-rounded and study outside of your comfort zone. That's when shit will start to connect. So then we understand the reason why the Bible is even in existence is a roadmap for them. And that's what we're about to prove tonight. So you can go back to every single natural disaster, and we're going to start with the first one, which is what we've been talking about lately, which is the Great Flood that they keep talking about. We're going to break down the technology they've been using for thousands of years, and we're going to show you exactly what happened. But now we got to get to motive. Now we got to get to motive. So if we follow the thread and we say, let's just humor me and say, this is what they told you it is on the back of your fucking money. It's a global conquest. The money says New World Order. So we've already talked about several countries share these same designs on the money. So they're showing you right now, let's do this. I'm going to show you what happens when I tell y'all that there is no such thing as these governments getting mad at each other and going to war in the aspect that y'all think. In politics, nothing happens by accident. If it happens, you can bet it was planned that way. This is what the white boy has been telling you for 100 years. Now, we looking at back to back. What's this? This is in Beijing. This is in northern India. Look at all the times around this, 2 months. And the last one was 2 months. This is the monsoon in India, 2 months. This is Hong Kong, Libya, Greece. This is from 12 days ago. Historic flood in New York. This was a couple weeks ago. Hold on. It's so many of these fucking things I was tweaking. What's this? This the one in Libya, and this one is important. This one in Libya is important. I'm gonna go back to that. Stop. The white people out there shit, and now they getting hit with catastrophic floods. They said they not about to continue doing business with America. Now they getting hit with catastrophic floods. Now you go to I forgot who this one was. Damn, I can't see it down there. This was I think this was in Spain. This one right here is in China. This one was in Denver. And all of this shit is this year. I'm talking about within the last 2 or 3 months. All of these. What is this? The typhoon in China killed dozens. Now we just seen all of those floods. Now watch this. This is I'm gonna show it to you quick. I ain't even okay. Tesla is renowned for his extensive experiments with mechanical vibrations and resonance. In 1898, he was experimenting with an electronic mechanical oscillator. Attaching the oscillator to a structural beam of his loft building, Tesla turned it on and began making observations and taking notes. Unfortunately, Tesla was unaware that the amplified vibrations from the oscillator were traveling through the beam and into the structure of the Manhattan in all directions. Nearby buildings shook windows shattered, and people poured into the streets, believing an earthquake was taking place. Finally realizing what was happening, Tesla smashed the oscillator and put an end to the experiment. Now, what is an oscillator? This right here. Now, this is dealing with vibrational frequency. Now, we already talked about the fact that all of these modern day European scholars, a lot of them studied in the Egyptian colleges, because that was the only university on the planet at the time. So now you can see that this right here is the same thing as this right here. So this is what I was trying to say before. You look at this and you say, well, Tesla stole that from here. And then this is why I don't I no longer be like upholding like Egypt and shit like that like I used to, because like I said at the beginning of this, when you evolve in your thought process, people think you're being contradictory. You just learn new shit. So like there's a lot of good foundational things, but the more I get into my studies, I find out a lot of treachery about Egypt. So the primary thing is, by the time it became Egypt, it was already corrupted. So that's a big part of what we need to understand. But we've been talking about this for a little minute now, and we understand that this is a bloodline thing. So when you go back to all the ancient texts, and then you look at the King's List, and then you start just doing the research, you can connect the King's List with the Bible, with all of the ancient stories that damn near everybody on the planet has been telling. They give you different names, different characters, different time period, but all of these religions tell similar damn stories. So you just start connecting the dots. So we know from a scientific standpoint, we already broke this down. We did a whole show on it, so y'all know, but I'm gonna go through it quick. So now we know that the moon, we already know that the and I don't, my thing is this. I fought that fight for years. Where do we really come from? I stood on the front line. Y'all see me. I debated all last year, all at the beginning of this year. So like I fought that fight. But when I turn around, and my son really pointed this out to me, when I turn around and I look at certain people, I've been watching these people for 5-6 years. And 4-5 years ago, it was debates about whether we Aboriginals or Kemetic. And 5 years later, these Negroes then put out books, got paid, got bigger houses, better lifestyles, and all that shit. But what they bring into the people is the same conversation. So what does that mean? At the end of these debates, they take a census on who they think won, and then they go to the YouTube and everybody talk about who won, and it's this big ordeal. And the people who got their ass whooped always think they won. Why? Because they got followers. So if I debate you and I wipe the floor with you, your followers believe your teachings. They're not going to admit you got your ass whooped. So what really happens? You go right back to your circle of people and you keep teaching the same bullshit. Or if I lose, my people still believe me. I go back to so it's a never-ending revolving door of nothingness. How do we advance? So if we're gonna rise to the occasion, strength is in numbers. The people who we are up against, they don't have the numbers, so they stick together like a motherfucker. And this is what brings me to the conclusion. We spend all of our time arguing over nothing burgers. This brother want to be in the comment section arguing about if we from America. And it's like, to be honest with you, I would take that debate publicly. And the reason why I would take it publicly, because I've been watching that debate for 10 years and I haven't seen the Aboriginal dudes win yet. If I had her, maybe it would have changed my stance. But I've been watching them get their ass whooped on this debate for 10 years, which means if I whoop one of their ass again on this debate, they just going to continue teaching the bullshit. So then what difference does it make? And if I get my ass whooped, then I'm going to say, well, I won every other debate, just lost that one. I'm still, it's a nothing burger. These punk ass land masses that we have no control over. Because I tell you what, if I give you no, I ain't gonna say that. I'm gonna wait because then I give people time to think and answer. I'm gonna wait and say that question the next time I catch one of y'all because I know you don't got an answer for it. But either way it go, what we gotta understand is this is planetary. This is the big one. This is the one that everybody been talking about. This is the shakedown. This ain't. It don't matter whatever land mass you own. That's where you're gonna get your ass whooped on. And if we're not together, the whole point, the reason why you have so many options is don't nobody else got this many options. Nobody else is confused about who they are and where they're supposed to be but you, and everybody swear they right. So that to me seems like somebody put a good ass plan together of keeping us confused. So why deal with it? Now, we know natural, unnatural disasters is what they've been pulling. And why are they pulling them? It all is connected to who you are. And they're using the Bible as a tool. Why? Because that thing we just talked about scientifically, so I want to talk that talk. Scientifically, you directly connected to the Creator. So if you directly connected to God scientifically, anything opposing you would be what? See, y'all talk that devil shit, but y'all don't believe in them. If you consider yourself directly connected to God, like y'all always talk about, if you directly connected to God, then that means anything that opposes you would be the opposite. So you're looking at a body of people who says, if you ask any of them, you can ask the Aboriginal brothers, okay, y'all Aboriginal, okay, we came from America first. What comes next? Do you believe in a higher power or creator? It ain't too many melanated people that don't. So are we specially connected to the higher power of the creator? It ain't too many melanated people that's going to say we're not. So if we're specially connected to the higher power or the creator, why isn't that good enough? Let's deal with that. Okay, so now, specially connected people on a planet, and you see that this is a sun planet, and you're the only people that can intake the planet. So from a scientific standpoint, the planet is here for you. It's yours. Now you could look around the planet and see no matter what landmass we're talking about, you have very little power on any of them. So let's just say we wake up tomorrow and I tell you, my good brother, I say, hey, you know what? Yesterday I had an epiphany. You're right. We are the Native Americans. I got 1,000 black men that agree with me. We're ready. What we gonna do? Crickets as usual. I must be new to this. Brother, you don't even know fucking science. If you don't stop being disrespectful and going somewhere. Now, here's my thing. It's a small ass battle to be worried about a continent when you rule the fucking planet. Grow up. We rule the fucking planet. The planet was stolen from us, not little bitty piece of shit ass America with no fucking natural resources. The most natural resources on the planet don't fucking come from here. Ain't no fucking diamonds in the dirt. Ain't no fucking gold in the dirt. You can't mine for oil in this motherfucker. What the fuck natural resources is here? What the fuck natural resources is here? Where we came from. Where God's chosen people, as y'all call them, where the most special being on this planet came from. A place with very little natural resources that's much smaller than, fuck out of here, man. This is why we have an issue, because we have to understand this is a planetary thing. So now, why the floods? Why the floods? Watch this. You got wait, let me make sure I got the right one. Is this oh no, okay, let me go backwards. Here we go. NATO makes it clear to potential adversaries that any attack on a NATO member would be met with a strong response. Hold on. Who is NATO? NATO has helped to promote stability in Europe since its founding in 1949 by providing a forum for cooperation and consultation. NATO is a collective security system. Its independent member states agreed to defend each other against third parties during the Cold War. NATO operated as a check on the threat posed by the Soviet Union. So now, what we're looking at is all of the flooding that you see. All of these places that you see, the main two that you just seen, Morocco and Libya. Morocco is not rejoining NATO and is questioning their alliance with the European Union. So when it was time to renew their alliance with the European Union, Morocco is in limbo. And a week later, they were drowning. Now, you got the same thing in Libya, but the thing with Libya goes a little bit deeper. So now Libya goes back to when your boy Barack was in there. The whole Benghazi thing I keep telling y'all about. They was trying to get a foothold in Libya for years. So with the Benghazi thing, they had to basically do some snake shit and sacrifice their own people. So now that's the thing I told y'all about when Hillary Clinton got the phone call that they was under fire at 4 p.m. and she ignored them until 11 p.m. So they had the prime minister of Libya with them and like 2 American soldiers and a bunch of newbies. And the dude who survived, who was like a skilled dude, he said when he got there, he couldn't believe it was all amateurs there. They all was new hires on like a security team. So they got under fire from 4 p.m. to 11 p.m. and nobody helped them. Needless to say, dude got slaughtered. That gave them the foothold that they needed in Libya. And the next thing you know, they killed Gaddafi. Now, when you get rid of Gaddafi, then it sets you up, because the whole 9/11, we're going to deal with that too. The whole 9/11 was all about the Middle East conquest. See, this is the thing with these fake ass scholars that want to brainwash our people with one train of thought. This shit, do you hear the level of shit I'm explaining to y'all? You got a government. Let me show you how dumbass thinking is. You got a fucking government that is using electrical impulse weapons to take down their enemies. And this fucking weirdo over here telling me about, we need to take back America. Okay, y'all all get in America, they hit your dumb ass with a sonic boom and drown everybody. Grow the fuck up. See, this is the problem when you only study one little bitty ass thread of thought. And your fucking leader is a kind man who ain't never won a debate. That's why you don't know shit. You don't even, here's the thing. I asked dude if he was aware of the fact that the dude who he holds such high regard got slaughtered in his last debate. He didn't know that, which means you don't even follow the guy you're following. Why would you follow somebody who has never publicly won a debate on the issue that you're talking about? This man ain't got his ass whooped in every debate. But you wouldn't know that because you don't follow the guy you follow. So that's why you keep regurgitating stupid shit to our people. This is spiritual, biological warfare. So if we're sitting here, the lesson tonight is about how they're using electrical impulse weapons to drown nations. Why the fuck are we arguing about a body of land when they could just drown everybody there? That's why you got to grow up with your thinking, weirdo. Y'all got to grow up with your line of thinking. These people got weaponry that you couldn't even comprehend. So we cannot have no closed mind. We got to look at this shit on a broader scale. This is real live warfare. This is biblical shit. Now, they've been fucking up the ocean tides since the beginning. If all cultures, let's just deal with it real quick. Then I'm going to go to the comment section and rock with y'all for a second. Okay, all cultures talk about a great flood. So we know what happened. Now, in this great flood, what's the commonality? What's the commonality of this great flood? All of the stories lead to a God getting upset with man and flooding them. Okay. Now, the issue is this. What determined what a God was 1,000,000 years ago? If you are rubbing goddamn rocks together for fire and living in teepees and shit like that, and something come floating out the goddamn sky, that is what primitive people would have thought is a God. Now, once some advanced being come and lays claim, then stories get regurgitated. And we have anybody who really wants to study, we got insurmountable amounts of evidence that can bag up the claim that our planet has been hijacked by outside entities. We got tons of evidence. So if that's the case, now, how did they do it? How about this God that got mad at these people and drowned them? Now, you may think that's far-fetched, but let's think about something and work it backwards. Let's just go to Hawaii real quick, and then we're going to come right back. Something you got to notice with all of these natural disasters. It always starts with some type of discrepancy amongst either governments or people. It's always something preceding that. Now, after this happens, what's the first thing that has to happen? Well, the first thing that happens is the people who were putting up whatever you disagree with, they're no longer in power. That's the first thing. Drown the shit out of whatever is opposing what you want to happen. Now, mysteriously, every time one of these natural disasters takes place, the people who are in opposition to a plan are the ones who end up getting drowned. And in every one of these natural disasters, the ruling elite of that region never get their property touched. So either the water is fucking racist or there's some other shit going on. So this is what we have to think about. We're dealing with a people who are proving to us that they're weaponizing nature. Now watch this. Here's the second thing that happens after the people who oppose the plan are gotten rid of. Land is damaged. Land is always damaged. Now, what has to happen? You have to hire people. More resources going out, more money and resources going out. You have to hire people to come fix the damage. And what's another thing that happens? The people of that area have to be removed from their area. They can't come back. So these homeowners, property owners, whatever, all of that shit gets swept away in these incidents. Now, the police and the National Guard and all of this shit have property mapped off so the actual citizens of the area can't get in. Now, you have just had your property taken over by the government. You no longer own the house you bought. You see that? Nobody's giving you your house back. So now, here's the issue. Every time these natural disasters occur, there's a political undertone that gets rid of the problem. Now, let's go back to the Bible. According to the Bible, this was a political thing amongst God and his angels. That's politics. God's got angels. We're going with the scripture. God's got angels. They got responsibilities, hierarchies in the angelic pantheon. So this is, God runs this a certain kind of way. Everything we've been told, these angels have certain names and certain duties. So there's a structural thing going on here. And now, it turns political when one faction disagrees with the higher ups, so a split emerges. Now, this is political amongst God and the angels. It's got nothing to do with fucking humans. Now, the end result of that pisses God off, and God says every aspect of man has become wicked. Now, God didn't create man wicked. Something happened in between that upset God, and he deducted the best way to deal with this is a flood. Now, what happened with the flood? It washed away everything that was the problem. And what did God do? He designated the new regime or paradigm that was going to start over. Well, okay. So that sounds incredibly similar to what we're going through right now. And now, if we're going to see if we can make a slight comparison to our time and what the Bible is suggesting, we know the moon affects the ocean tides tremendously. It controls them. And we know that according to what we're told during research, there were enormous floods upon the arrival of the moon. So the only thing we're missing is this God, which means, according to every ancient story we've been told, if there was a great flood that it's been documented and We know there was a great flood that was been documented with the arrival of the moon. And we know all of these ancient stories are saying that it was God doing it because he was angry at the people. Then we can deduct the moon came here with a God who got angry with the people and drowned them. Not because I say so, but because every fucking culture you can think of says so. So all we got to do is just connect dots and put some paint where it ain't. Now, we looking at the same reoccurring thing. Now, if we can say that we can trace these bloodlines on this planet all the way back to this Noah's Ark moment, then we can see how we're looking at a planetary system where everything's being controlled by what appears to be different entities, but when we start to look at it, it's the same thing happening. And now we go back to here. You're looking at the technology right there that the ancestors possessed thousands of years ago. This is what the Pharaoh had in his possession thousands of years ago. The same thing that Tesla said, he could knock a building down with this. The Egyptian Pharaoh was walking around with it in his hand. This is not anything new. Now, if all the scriptural texts say that this planet is controlled by this being that oversees everything called God, then that's just a variation of a story of an ideology. But when we can see that this story mimics a lot of the other stories that we heard, then we have to deduct this coming from a place. And the story just so happens to line up with certain things that we can prove. It doesn't make the Bible real. It means the Bible has real shit in it that needs to be decoded. Just like everything else. Where we fall short at is we find something that resonates with us and we get hung up on it and we stop. We stop thinking, we stop trying, we stop looking. Life is evolution. You must be evolving. You must be evolving in thought, attitude, being, understanding. Everything about you must evolve. And it's because we've been put in a state that doesn't allow evolution because most of us think, do, and believe the same shit. There's no evolutionary space right there. Y'all over here cooking. Let me see what y'all talking about. Yeah. Everybody over here, y'all over here cooking. You are just playing is what I felt 15 years ago. Hey, no, Atlas, you know me, man. I be passionate sometimes, but I'm cool. Everything cool. It just be like, y'all should see the comment section. It's just like when you try to have a dialogue with brothers, because like what I do with anybody is I hear them out, whether I agree or not. I hear you out, and then if I'm gonna contest something, I'm gonna contest exactly what you're saying. I'm not gonna pull from spaces because I'm not looking to argue. I'm looking to because I know even when we on the social media and we going back and forth, I start out with the person who I'm addressing. But after we go back and forth, I understand that people's going to read this. So if I can see I'm not going to be able to teach the person I'm talking to, I know the people coming behind me going to read it. And so I'm not trying to intentionally bullshit. We need comprehensive dialogue so the people can decide what makes more sense. So for me, I don't see anymore that is logical or beneficial to keep arguing about a landmass when we don't have power on any of them. It's just like the brothers who call themselves Israelites saying they from Israel. You Negroes ain't gonna get nowhere near Israel. Have you seen Israel finna be down there all white? Israel is worse than America. Well, how you gonna get your land back? The chosen land. How you gonna get it back? So it's just, we do a lot of whistling Dixie, and I go in these different rooms and these different discussions, and it's like nobody wants to elevate. People just want to be right. And that's where the frustration comes in. That, like, even if you don't agree, let's have a good dialogue. Like, I don't expect, well, I ain't gonna say that. I expect people to be thorough with whatever they standing on. So, like me, for instance, anybody that I present to y'all as a source, ain't no way in hell that person has a debate that I've never seen. There's nobody that I've ever brought to y'all that I rock with, and I don't watch their debates. I need to make sure that this person who I got confidence in is actually talking about something. How does your theory hold up against other scholars? That's important. That's important. So, like these theories, I've been pushing this all year, because what I'm doing is I'm building on a body of information. So we're gonna repeat some things and always add to them. We're repeating them not because we're running out of information, because I want it to sink in. I want us to keep saying the same thing over and over, because when I start having conversations with y'all be throwing the shit at me in a conversation like you came up with it. I love that shit, because that let me know we here. I don't care about that. Look, we here. Now, the thing is, let's go back to Libya. So now, they painted the picture of Gaddafi enslaving his people. And so they used the media, like they always do, to justify their behavior. And they used punk ass Barack Obama also. And so now they go in there and kill him. Now, that man had more gold. Like, fill your house up with gold. Wherever you live at, just fill it up with gold. He had a room that big with just gold in it. So where'd that gold go after they killed him? Now, they said that he was mistreating his people and enslaving them. Within a year after his death, they had they were one of the leading places in the world for like actual slavery. Like back in the old days, like you could literally go there, stand in line and buy a slave. They went back to slave auctions after they killed Gaddafi. This man had free education, free health care. If you got married, they gave you $500 and a place to stay so you could start your family. All students was paid all the way up through college. Come on, man. So you didn't pay for education or health care, and all newlyweds got blessed by the government. You get married, your wife and your husband, the husband and wife, they give you $500, like some cattle and some land, huh? They kill him. Said he was the bad guy. You talking about the chauvinism of the Western world. You look at Islam and you see nothing but a male chauvinistic ass religion. Gaddafi army was like 75% women. So this is a man who is, although he's Muslim, he doesn't share the same chauvinistic ass views about women as his Muslim counterparts. This who was in power in Libya. They killed that guy. And then they stole his idea. Now they got this thing called BRICS coming out, where they're getting this global currency. Okay, that's what Gaddafi was doing. They killed him, stole his idea, and now what? They put two governments in Libya because he still had his guys there after they put that bullshit. His guys didn't step down. So they put another regime in there. So now Libya currently got two governments. And so y'all want to play, we're going to drown y'all ass too. So Libya gets it again because they won't completely concede to NATO. Now, this is supposed to be defense. But if you don't jump in with the union, then we send your ass a little visit. So you're looking at, hold on, let's go back to this. What is that? Hold on, here we go. The contribution by country. How much money gets put into NATO? United States put 811 billion. United Kingdom 73 billion. 811 billion. So now, when I tell y'all that this shit just be bullshit, look at this. When you see the United States act like Germany is a problem, or they act like Canada, or they act like Spain, any of this shit, bro, they've been controlling these places. Been, as in long time. Oh, where's the other one? Is this okay? That's the same thing. Estimated military spending in NATO countries to 2014 to 2022. Look at United States. So this is a United States operation. You think I'm putting the most money into somebody else shit? So this thing, which is the alliance of all the militaries, basically it's the alliance for the military, letting you know that all the militaries are controlled by the same people. So everybody who's not basically submitting their military to NATO is getting drowned. That's what the fuck that's the fuck this shit is. Collective security. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization is an intergovernmental military alliance between 31 member states. That's 31 armies. Now, who the fuck y'all think finna challenge 31 armies? I don't care what it look like on TV. Anybody on TV talking that shit know what NATO is. So if you piss off United States of America, 31 people you got to deal with. You pop a shot at America, one fucking bullet. If you go to the border and throw a bullet across the border, bitch, you got to deal with 31 motherfucking. Come on, man. The game is rigged. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to understand. So when we thinking so small-minded, talking about we want America, did y'all just see the numbers? Turkey makes way to Sweden's NATO accession. Turkey don't want Sweden in. Turkey don't want Sweden in the NATO. So they've been banging lately. They say they got a long line of traitors and they don't trust them. These people crazy. NATO has helped promote stability in Europe since its founding in 1949. That's almost 100 years. The same people. Where's wait. I'm trying to find this other one for y'all. Oh, I can't even read it. It's too goddamn small. Let me see. That's even worse. I don't know how to hold on. Ballistic missile defense. Oh shit, that ain't it. Anyway, y'all get the motherfucking picture. Wait, well, let me get this up out of here so I can see what the hell going on. Okay. So now, this is what I'm saying. The hub for that is here. So this ideology of we're gonna do what in America? Not a motherfucking thing. Just talk on the internet. That's all y'all gonna do. Y'all ain't got no educational facilities. You ain't got no buildings. You ain't got no land. That's why I said if I show up with 1,000 people that believe in this bullshit, what we gonna do? Nothing. We're gonna wake up tomorrow and talk some more. That's it. That's how we're gonna wake up tomorrow with 1,000 brothers ready to go, and you're gonna talk. This is our land. Yeah, we the Aboriginals. Aboriginal power. And then what? After we get established that we the Aboriginals and this is our land, then what? Not a motherfucking thing. That's why this shit is a nothing burger. That's why we can't waste time on it, because y'all ain't gonna do shit. You're not gonna take America back. You can't even speak in code. Everybody you know is a snitch. Everybody there with a feather in their head gonna snitch on each other. You're gonna have a room full of featherhead snitches. Because soon as the fucking boys come, niggas gonna tell. Y'all gonna get ran straight up out the powwow, drums and all. Niggas gonna tell is what you gonna do. You're gonna tell something first chance you get. And then we'll be right back in where we at. Following the Aboriginals with no plan and no land. You look at, I'll say, take America back, aka make America great again. That would it sound like to me. If we just gotta make it make sense when we strategizing. We gotta make it make sense. Like we're not understanding what the real problem is. The real problem is the fact that we don't know who we are. That's the bottom line problem. So arguing about it, we still haven't been able to agree on that. So what the fuck we're gonna keep arguing for? Let's just stop at the part where we understand this is our planet. Why we can't just stop right there? We was kings and queens. We used to own the planet. All right, back. Cool. Breaks, nothing else. But I'm a no. I'm a Hebrew. No. I'm a good. No. Stop at the part where we were great and we ruled. We can agree on that. Why do we have to go to places where we don't agree? Just so we can fight about it? No, that's weird. So this is the thing. Now, when we're looking at a military alliance that's been formed for almost 100 years. That's some other shit, bro. 76 years they didn't have this thing put together. 76 years they didn't have this fucking thing put together. With 31 nations, armies. So the only thing you're witnessing is what I've been telling y'all. This is get down or lay down. And watch this. This what make everything so dangerous. Because people, when Katrina hit, and I'm guilty of this. I'm so embarrassed of what I'm finna tell y'all. I wish I could slap myself. I actually told black people the reason why that was happening is because we God's chosen people and we over there practicing all that voodoo and shit. And so God punishing us because we were so wicked. We could have took that out of chapter 6, page 8, white boy oppression 101. That is the whitest shit ever. That thought process. And then the news will say shit like, this is floods of apocalyptic proportion. They're not supposed to say that. Objection, Your Honor, leading the witness. Speculation. Like you're not supposed to say that on the national news. So you put that in the mind that this is God's wrath. The same one that he foretold. But let's just look at this thing. If you spend your entire life getting over and doing bad shit to people, does it come back on you? Somebody in the chat. Anybody. If you spend all your life trying to get over and manipulate, one day is that going to come back on you? I'm going to eat my Reese's till somebody answers. I got a whole bag too, so if y'all don't ask me, I'm going to eat all these more. Nah. If you do something, black people always say, that's what you get. God don't like ugly. Karma is not always instant or at all. I give you a 50-50 on that one, Atlas. Karma is not always instant, but karma is unescapable by definition. So, and the reason why that exists is because it's called a system. It's just like everything else on this planet we experience. There's a system to it. You throw something up in the air, eventually it's going to come back down. It's a system. You hit the wrong person, they hit your ass back. It's a system. So my thing is, that is, once you accept the fact that karma exists, there's no need for a punishment by God for breaking his covenant. And then when you say, what was the covenant we broke? Let's say we didn't follow his laws and commandments. Okay. Thou shalt not kill is a commandment. You can't escape the karma of that. Because even if you never get caught, the people who I know who are killers, they don't rest well, they have nightmares, they're not good people, and ultimately somebody end up killing them. That's karma. The Angelic Island meeting and how all of these rich men live wealthy lives but die alone and penniless. That's what we talking about, God. That's what I'm saying. So like that's what I mean. It's the same thing. Down south, we talking about the same thing. Hey man, if it looked like a duck, goddamn it, we talking about the same thing. We could call it what we want to call it. I'm just using the word karma as a reference point. We just know cause and effect. Same thing. That's actually a better way to put it. Every action has a reaction. There you go. Let's get on some physics with it. Every action has a reaction, cause and effect. Okay, so let's look at this thing about breaking the covenant. Okay, so at one point, the planet was a gift. Now, At some point, we accepted this system and began to worship something other than God. So now, as a result of this, the gift of this planet that was given to us, the planet got hijacked. Because we were not, as a people, concrete in our understanding. So God doesn't have to punish us. The punishment is we lost our land. That's the karma. That's the cause and the effect. When you don't know certain things, people who do know can come take advantage of you. So now, because they have done that, you can see a system that is continually falling to pieces, and they're beginning to get exposed. And we as a people are becoming stronger in understanding. We're not becoming stronger in body, but we're getting a better understanding. All of this is just cause and effect. Why? Because they what we call narcissistic. They rub in our face what they're doing. And eventually we catch on. This is a cause and effect. If they didn't have this incessant need to flaunt what they're doing, we would have stayed asleep for another million years. They start putting it in videos and putting it in movies and putting it in spaces, and we start decoding it. And then they came up with the internet so they could spy on our every move. But shit, it's a two-way mirror, so we can spy on their every move. And it's like, once you open up the informational highway, it's a two-way lane. So we slid in and now we getting information. Everything is like the guy said, it's going to be cause and effect. So this is what allows the creator to be able to work on the end game. Because remember, the creator is doing something just like we doing something. It's happening with him first. The stewardship is for those that can control those that abandon the responsibility. I could go with that. And this has to happen. This has to take course. But there's a twist. There's a plot twist in this story. The creator is clever. So the whole they're winning thing, it may not be quite what it appears to be. So we could be okay with that space. But the whole thing is the comprehension of what we're dealing with is important. Because then we don't end up fighting pointless ass fights. Oh yeah, we going to Clubhouse after this, and then we can really cook, y'all. I don't know how my stowaway ass wife is here, but what's up? I don't know how the queen is skipping class or whatever she's doing. I hope they don't catch your ass in the back of that class trying to be in. Do not get caught and get kicked out of class trying to eavesdrop, please. But the comprehension of the game being played, it positions us better. When we one-sided and one-track minded, then we're gonna miss something. So we got to look at this thing from all angles. Now, the one thing was noticing that, like I say, everybody in recent news that has fought back has got hit with a natural disaster. So these ain't natural disasters. Now, people are losing their land just like in the original floods, people lost their land. Everybody lost their land. Now, we keep hearing this thing about the Great Reset. And we keep wondering, like, how is it that they've been able to hide who we are for so long? Because when you drown everybody, you wash away the property, you wash away the people, and you wash away the information. And for whoever survives, The new understanding is whatever we say it is, because there's no records of anything. So this planet has been started over 6 times already. There's going to be a 7th. And they're working on it. Now, all of us keep talking about population control. Well, all you got to do is look at the death tolls on all of these incidents. It's in the thousands. And the one thing that's in common in every last one of them, the land gets stolen and the children come up missing. Well, in that a quinky dink. I did a show a while back. I think I did it last year for Halloween, actually. I might have did it last year for Halloween. Where I got into I broke down the Freddie and Jason thing a little bit. And Freddy Krueger is a big deal for a reason. For one, he's a pedophile. And now he gives you a big clue, because he not only takes the children, he travels around with the souls of the children. So what? We never seen him eat dinner before. We never seen him have a meal. All beings are powered by something. So if Freddy Krueger is harboring the souls of the children, then this is a being fueled by the souls of the children. Well, there's more children missing in America than any place else in the world. So that would be another being that is fueled by the souls of the children. Well, if we could go that far, then pedophilia is the biggest crime on this planet. They have stolen more children than anything else could even come close to comparing. This is the vampirization of what we would call angelic energy. The first thing you see in all of these natural disasters is the land get destroyed. Next thing you see is people die. The next thing you see after that is the women and children go missing. They kill the men and they kidnap the women and children. Why? Because I know a lot of queens listen to me and I be hating shit like this, but they all of this land that's undiscovered that they don't tell us about, they take the women there and they use them to breed. And it's not always with humans. One of the biggest things that they've accomplished in the last 100 years is integrating more human cross-dimensional hybrids into the working civilization. They're in military branches. They're in secret service branches. They're in naval branches. And some of them are in day-to-day working class situations, usually in the higher ups where they don't have to interact with people much because it's hard for them to adjust, in certain situations. So it's like This ain't nothing new. And they're doing horrible things with our children. And we get our ass up here arguing about America versus Africa. What are we going to do about the sick ass beings who literally eat our children? Why the fuck do I want to argue about land that neither one of us can get when they're literally eating our children? See, we got to get with the fucking program and stop wasting all of this time on miscellaneous shit. And this is going to be rough because it's pouring raining outside and I'm not sure if my truck closed. Whoa. It's going to be rough. I can hear that shit. Oh my God. It's going to be rough. So when you, hold on for a second. I had something else too. A couple more things. Did I not? Maybe I slipped with the clips. Damn. I think I did, y'all. I had some clips. I don't know where they at. I might be able to go. Oh, this ain't even my computer. Either way. So my whole thing is this. We don't want to look at what history and science dictates. Science dictates our connection to God is through all of the land, not just certain spaces. When we do that, we take away from our divine aspect. Because if we're going to say the only reason why I ever connected us to Africa is because I connected that to the beginning of civilization. Now, and I didn't do that. Here's the thing about me. I didn't just do that simply because our ancestors said so and I believed them. I literally went, I did the research, and in the research, for the first time ever, I learned about science and geography. Science made me pretty sure of myself. And then geography was like, from a geographical standpoint, when you look at the placement of Africa, its placement is in the only place on the map that is completely surrounded by water. So when you see it as the only place being surrounded by water, then you understand that's where all of your resources, your life force, and your vegetation is coming from, the land and the water. But when you're completely surrounded by water, that's infinite resources. That's the only place like that on the map. So that's why it makes sense to me, not from a standpoint of trying to be better, from a standpoint of geography and science. We're sun beings. So naturally, you would look for us to our origins to be from a place where the sun is readily available and permanent to strengthen the people, because we get nutrients and vitamins from the sun and intellect. So you get a heavy abundance of that on the continent of Africa. So my beliefs are stemming from like I said, science and geography, not for the sake of me just needing to be right. But then I take it a step further and I say, doesn't matter. Because I see that the discussion is getting us nowhere. So okay, let's switch gears and see what commonalities we have that can lead us somewhere. This is scripted, like everything else on this planet. When you look at the fact that all of this shit is connected to disagreements, and then from disagreements, you get people drowning, and it's like, and there's some more. I don't even know if I did all of these. Did I do this one in Vermont? This one is in South Florida 5 months ago. South Korea. Look at this shit, man. This one was the one in Vermont 2 months ago. Beijing. Look at this. Now, we know they killed Tesla. Excuse me. They killed Tesla and stole his work. And now, what makes this believable is because this is not something like somebody put out a book and we take no. This is drawn directly from the memoirs and notes that he took, and what his scientific experiments was and what he discovered. So sitting around just trying to figure some things out, and he just down there knocked a building down. That's not a big thing. That thing is the size of slightly bigger than a hip-hop microphone. And he shattered windows and the concrete shook just from placing it up against a metal beam in his goddamn apartment building. He damn near knocked down the whole building and started an earthquake. So you mean to tell me these earthquakes are natural? See, that's what I'm saying. Now, look how long they had to practice his formulas and perfect his work. And now look what we have. They're literally, and now this is the scariest part, because when it's like this, oh my God, that rain is so scared me. When it's like this, you can't. It's really hard to defend ourselves from this type of warfare. This is why we got to get past the petty squabbles and get spiritual. And that doesn't mean your damn Bible. We got to get spiritual. We got to start talking to the planet. Maybe getting a little guidance from the ancestors, which is essentially you. But we have to come from a spiritual space, because in this physical realm, they got the jump on us. So we got to go back and see. This is why you remove the information, and this is why it's time to destroy this motherfucker again, because we're getting too close. Every time we start getting real smart, it's time for them they got to shake, because now it's like we really used to whoop their ass with the spiritual warfare. They tortured us till they got enough of it, and they killed everybody who wasn't completely docile. Excuse me. And so now they are the physical keepers of our spiritual knowledge. But we got it because of our direct connection with that which is creation. And the creator, I used to say that, but creation is more of a process. So to call God the creator, it limits exactly who he is. Oh, yeah. There's a space we got to get to where we start to embrace knowledge and new information again. That's what's gonna get us out of this. Knowledge and new information. And you, of course, you keep your connection with God. But we think that having a connection with God means we're not supposed to be smart. Y'all pick up a Bible and put down every other book. No. You have to have your spiritual side, but the things going on, and this is a big world. It's a lot going on, past, present, and what you would call a future. So I think if you look at Hurricane Katrina, they drowned us. You can look at 9/11 and that brought the conquest of the Middle East. It's so many signs that it was something they were behind. And then after 9/11, I mean, you could just look at everything that has happened that is considered a natural disaster. How come all of it, every natural disaster, every bombing, every shooting that we've had since 9/11 and before, but I'm just giving us a reference point, has all further accomplished when 9/11 started. It's a contingency of the same plan, no matter who sits in office. They all talk different, but the world has not stopped moving in the exact same direction for 6,000 years. You gotta know that that's a thing. Because if we're saying that the planet has all these different races of people, and it's been all of these different people and all these different times, and all of these different land masses really matter where you're from, then how come every landmass on the planet has participated in moving this agenda in the exact same direction of corruption, no matter who's in control? We've never seen a plan opposing the one that we have right now in play. You say you never seen plasma storms till after 9/11. They got Tesla. They say he's the first person to ever basically hold a lightning bolt. They got a picture of him with a big ass lightning bolt in his hand. I don't know how authentic it is, but that's what they say. This was an extremely smart man. And they had to get rid of him because he knew too much. Man, look, I don't know. I wouldn't have never been caught without that little stick in my hand. I'd have just fucked him up when they got close to me. But he was old, man. They got to jump on the old school. But, and I told y'all the story before about damn, I forgot to get that picture. The man they got a y'all could Google this right here. Google Tesla man with the yellow hat, and you'll see they'll put Tesla, the picture our government lost and agreed to give us in the process. We are just now witnessing it. Yeah. Pretty much. But yeah, I mean, that's right. But they only lost in that aspect. They only lost to their people. That whole thing about the government, you're right about that, God. I ain't contesting that at all. But that's the thing that we talk about, two different wings on the same bird. No matter which one of these groups of people was in power, the same thing was going to happen. They just got two different ways of going about it. But Tesla is, I'm so tired. I came straight from work. study and here. I ain't had a minute. Now I'm finna go here to Clubhouse. Man, y'all be whooping my ass on Tuesdays. Y'all better never say I'm not committed to this shit. This is what I do with my free time. Spend entire days rocking with my people. The man with the yellow hat in Tesla. If you Google that, you'll see it. They'll show you a picture. You know, they never show his face. They'll show you his face and they'll show you the face of Tesla. It's the same person. Tesla is the man with the yellow hat. And the name of the show is Curious George. And what is Curious George doing? He's always getting into trouble. He's always getting into something. Why? Looking for shit. He always get to looking for something to get into something. Okay, now, George Bush Sr. is Curious George. Now, you notice that George Bush Sr., why did they make him the head of the FBI and one of the founders of the FBI? Why him? Because he's Curious George. He's a nosy little fucker. He always had been. He damn near was like a spy. He always just been good at snooping. So at an early age, they used to make him snoop into Tesla had a den where he used to do all his work at. He used to lock his den. Curious George, the little monkey, is what he used to call him because he didn't like him. He used to call him Curious George, the little monkey. And so this little monkey learned how to pick locks and used to pick locks and get copies of information of Tesla's work. And Tesla used to walk with a limp, and it is alleged that where the limp came from was Curious George tried to run him over in the driveway one day after getting in trouble for getting caught going through his shit. So they were the last ones to visit him at the hospital. And after that, he was no more. And so now that paperwork, that research, it took them however many fucking years to decode his shit and then put the little Satan's great grandbaby Elon into play. I'm pretty sure he's Satan's great grandbaby too. And so this is how these things get done. They always got front men to pass off knowledge. Like, what was that brother that, and I got this little piece from Dick Gregory. What was the brother, was it Herman Cain? I'm not sure what his name was. He was running, he was a black dude running for president a couple years back. And they said that his claim to fame was, he was the first black surgeon to successfully separate Siamese twins. I can't remember his name, but if you think about something, he never got a Nobel Peace Prize, and we never seen this surgery. So he just came in the game as somebody who did this, but we never actually seen it. There's no footage of none. A surgery like this, and it wasn't recorded. There's no documentation of this actually happening, but it slid him into a political space. Well, Edison was the front man. He was the competition. They remember it's a bloodline thing. They all connected. So Edison was who they used as the first front man to get a technology to. He was definitely couldn't stand. Edison definitely couldn't stand him. So you're right about that. That's good shit, Queen. But Edison, just like all of them, they front men. They part of the establishment. So you get somebody who's good at science and tinkering with shit, so he know how to explain shit, and then you give him the formulas. Like the Ford brothers. The Ford brothers got every single ideal from George Washington Carver. George Washington Carver drew up the blueprints for the Ford automobile. So this is how they've always been. They're going to use niggas, then take the credit. So that's why I say it's dangerous when we're not looking at the bigger picture, because in small pockets they can always control us. If we take all of these different ideologies and put them under one umbrella and say, okay, you say you want to be Aboriginal. What does that look like for y'all? What do y'all practice? What's y'all beliefs? Nature, universal God, blah, blah. Okay, well, that's pretty similar to what Africans believe. All right, what do y'all, okay, y'all say, okay, it's one God, you call him Allah, but he, same thing, control everybody, you got good tenants, be peaceful, don't hurt nobody. Okay, fine, we don't care. See, that's what I'm saying. We're arguing over the same different stupid shit. Like the Native Americans, they believe in a supreme deity, one higher supreme deity. Now they might believe in other one, but they believe that there's one higher one. Okay. Well, so do Africans. They, when you Native American, you're real into the animals and the land. Well, so are Africans. What the fuck is the argument about? That's my point. When you get done with it, it's a nothing burger. It takes you nowhere. But if we could take a page out of old Constantine book. Yeah, we Christians. Practice what you want. The end. That's the problem. We're not learning, we're not elevating, we're not advancing in thought. As long as we got the same ideologies and moving forward, you could call your God Blue Lagoon if you want to. It's got nothing to do with me. But when we adapt these foreign ideologies, then we adapt the mentality and behavioral patterns that go with them. So then this is why we're so competitive in these spiritual systems, because all we see is competition in spiritual systems. Like, you ever seen a motherfucking a Buddhist and a Muslim argue? It's like this it's all just distraction. I can't think of no other way to put it. It's a distraction. There's natural disasters being used against us by our enemies, unnatural disasters. So when you think about it, water is the most vicious, fastest moving force. And they've weaponized it against the people. You can't have a funeral for 2,000 dead people, which I don't really agree with funerals anyway, but now 2,000 people, probably 3,000 by now. The article's a couple days old, just missing. That's some sad shit. But here's here's a space we have to reach a understanding in. Like, because I think shows like this could be deceptive. Because we could look at this and I'm sure most of us could agree, okay, they're literally weaponizing the weather. And after we agree on that and we have a good build, we kind of go back to our regular world without really assessing what we just agreed on. We agreed that we're up against a group of people who have learned how to take the ocean waters and use it against us. Man, that is That's beyond any level of comprehension you want to comprehend. Weaponizing water, big bodies of water, just sending them through rural cities and just fuck it. The people who are actually pushing the button on this can't possibly be human. There's no way to look at and see 2,000 people dead and know, like, yeah, I did that. But here's the sick part about it. If you ask me, I'd be like, hell no, I can't do that. Then you'd be like, well, what if it was 2,000 of your enemies? Then I'd be like, hell yeah. If it's 2,000 of my enemies, hell yeah. Okay, well, they see us as their enemies. So that means they're justified in their behavior. Woo! Didn't see that one coming, did you? That's what makes it weird. So it's like, I don't know, man. It's a tough space. It's a tough ass space. We gotta just sit back and think about it. Like, we got a government that has been telling us ever since the Georgia Guidestones. See, that's where it all comes to play at. Think about this now. the Georgia Guidestones, the rocks, what they call them, they used to call them something else. I can't think of the name of them. The rocks they got the say how much population control they need and by what time. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I can't think of them right now. It had the thing on there of what they need the population to be and by when. And what a coinky dink that was blown up in the last 5 years. So we don't got that no more to remind us that they was telling us for the last couple 1,000 years they was gonna have to kill us. So now you can't access that no more for a reminder. And people have forgot that they already agreed that at some point they're gonna kill millions of us. And so like 30,000 with the COVID shit, a couple thousand here or there, bid 100,000 real quick. And if they can kill 100,000 in a couple years, 2 years, well, 100,000 every 2 years, you can already do the math on how fucked up that's gonna get. And we're still gonna be arguing over whether we Aboriginal or not. If we decide that we Aboriginal, before I say no, hold on, let me get y'all back. Aboriginal people, come back for a second. If I do say I'm one of y'all and I bring some people with me, do y'all got something against them electrical beams they gonna be shooting at niggas? These right here. Do y'all Aboriginals got something for these? Because according to Tesla, that bitch right there could knock down a whole motherfucking Brooklyn Bridge in an hour. So do you Aboriginal dudes? I know y'all got a bunch of feathers and shit, but besides the feathers, do y'all got some stuff that could help us with those? Respectfully, I want to know. Because if so, I'll join tomorrow. Right? If y'all got something to stop them little things, I become an Aboriginal tomorrow. I denounce everything and be one of y'all. I promise you. I'll do that shit publicly. I say all this shit bullshit. I just seen the light. The Aboriginals is right. Send my shit in the mail. Send my shit in the mail, bro. If you got something to stop this little thing, I need that in the mail ASAP. And I'm Aboriginal power all day. Yeah, it's not a winnable fight without the right amount of information and the proper preparation. And that's just what it is. With that being said, like my wife said, we headed to Clubhouse and we're gonna bang, 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 bang. But I could promise you, unless we get to super cooking, then once that pot get to cooking, hey, I ain't going nowhere. But if it slow down, I'm gonna nod off on y'all ass. I'm so damn sleepy. It didn't stop raining. I think it's safe to go outside now. I need to get in my truck before it start again. I gotta go take my own truck to the shop. Something wrong with the goddamn sunroof. I came out to my car this morning and it was a small pond in my goddamn front seat. So, and the sunroof was closed completely. So the ceiling that came off that motherfucker, something, I don't know, but I can't drown because, well, I'm just not ready. With that being said, keep in mind, it's the last thing I want to say, and this is the most important thing I want to say. What we're witnessing is the beginning of unnatural disasters. They are definitely controlling this thing. And so with that understanding, the winter is coming. And I got a feeling this is going to be one of the most brutal winters. If you're somewhere where you get rough winters, like I'm in the Midwest, our winters are treacherous out here. It get like Alaska out here around the wintertime. So if you're in the Midwest or somewhere where you get a rough winter, this winter they're gonna hit us with a snowstorm of outrageous proportions. And so be ready. Take a little something extra when you go to the grocery store now. Just get you some extra waters. Get you some extra pop. I mean, no, don't get some pops. Get you some extra waters. Get you some extra canned goods, granola bars, things that if need be, you can move with them and you can have them. If the heat go out, y'all ain't gonna be hungry. You ain't gonna run out of water. Make sure you got an abundance of extra stuff before the first snowflake hit. You got about 2 months. You got at least 2 months to stock up, and make sure around November, December, just by November, December, be good. Stock up, store up, yes. Make sure by November, December, you good on goods. Because I believe, and I'm not hard stamping this. I ain't trying to make no prophetic prediction. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm so fucking wrong. This is the one time I want to be wronged in a bitch. But I wouldn't feel right if I ain't say it, because I had this thought that this winter is going to be a difficult one for certain people, and especially if y'all some of the queens and y'all live alone, it's just you taking care of the babies or whatever the case may be. Be very prepared. Get you some get a bunch of matches, lighters, stock up on batteries. Just in case they hit you with the electricity thing. You got a flashlight, some batteries, a whole bunch of candles, bunch of matches and lighters. Stock up on stuff so that you don't end extra blankets. Yes, thank you, sis. Make sure that you don't end up in a bad situation with you and your people because you thought it wasn't going to happen. Now, if it don't happen, it's just stuff you can have, and shit, at least keep it for 2 years. We ain't in the clear yet. But I just that was just put on my spirit to say that to the family. Make sure y'all prepared. With that being said, this was a great cook tonight, in my opinion. Y'all have to let me know how y'all felt about it. But we're going to Clubhouse and we're gonna finish breaking this thing down. So come on, Clubhouse, come to the stage, share your thoughts with me. Definitely, Miss Franklin. The queen said walkie-talkies. Y'all got to get y'all walkie-talkie game up. And look, I know how black folks is. Don't get them cheap-ass walkie-talkies. Go to the motherfucking, one of them, what they call them? I can't think of what they call them, but it's the gas stations that be like the TSA, one of them type of gas stations when you be traveling. And they had them gas stations, they be having all kind of looks. You got to go to one of them and get you a good set of walkie-talkies, or find you something on Amazon or whatever. Find you some good shit that go a distance. So if y'all get pinned down, you can talk far as hell. Yo, don't take it. So if you cross the street, it's gonna be static. We need to be able to communicate with each other. Another thing you can do is we go to Walmart and hit them flip phones. Hit them flip phones, get them cheap ass flip phones at Walmart because they ain't connected through nothing. So it's a lot of ways we can stay popping if we popping. Like the queen say, generators, any of that shit, man. Stock up before it get too cold out here. Please do that. And I'm gonna be saying that every week. Now, every week you're gonna get this speech from me to make sure that we stock up. And if I forget, y'all queens, y'all step in and remind me and remind the family that we need to be prepared for this winter. I don't want to see nobody in trouble. Because, man, we're going to send the recruit team. We're going to do what the fuck we got to make sure that everybody, especially these women and children, is okay this winter time. So, but I'm only one man. I need y'all help. So let's come together as a family. Let's take care of each other and let's get through this. This whole earth is our turf. We ain't gonna worry about no one landmass. Yeah, we're gonna talk. We can finish talking about this on Clubhouse. You know, we gonna cook. So that's what it is. Knowledge is the only real power, and information is the only real currency. But the application of both is the route to divinity. Catch us on Clubhouse, family, and y'all know what it is. I love y'all, and we gone.